get back up that you got.
Working for this lady named Miss Connie Anderson. $2 a week.
Okay.
Doing everything but the cooking.
Was it a black lady or
white lady?
A white
black,
lady.
nobody black had nobody couldn't hire nobody to work.
Okay.
That was his name. Her name was Eunice. And they had 2 kids. The oldest boy's name was Justice. And the youngest boy's name was Gene. I just wonder whatever happened to those boys. They lived out there by Pierce School. And I lived across the track. You know you didn't have no ride. When I had this job, I was going to school. This lady would pick me up in the morning around 7 something. I'd go and do a little work in the house. And then go to school. Get out of school at 2:30 and come back to the lady's house. I'm walking all the way from North End back to Pierce. You know where Pierce is? You didn't have no ride. So you just did the best you could. And you're making $3 a week, you're doing some good. And don't make $5
a week. And you walking
back and forth. She picked me up in the mornings. And a lot of times she wouldn't even take me to school on Mondays. Because we watched before I went to school. So she'd take me to school on Mondays.
Okay.
But the rest of the time I had to walk. Because I know I went to school in Kilton, not Kilton. I did go to school in Kilton.
Mm-hmm.
But
and how big was your school?
In Kilton, I went to PowerPoint when I was in Kilton. It was a big school. I went to school in Wallace, not Wallace. It was on the other side of Wallace, called it the College. One room.
It was one room.
One room shack. And I never get. I don't know what the first lady's name, first name was, but her last name was Miss Blue.
Miss Blue.
And evidently Miss Blue was married, and her husband had the black eye. She came to school and I had a cousin named Eldridge Knapp. And I don't know what he had said, but all I know is he said, Miss Blue, I didn't say nothing about nobody black in your eye. But he had to say something. He had to clap. You know they laugh. I didn't say nothing about nobody black in your eye. Child, I tell you, it was something else. And Eldridge had a sister named was Oprah. We called her Twitter. She was smart in school. Now, Lucy was the oldest girl that my uncle had. And boy, we used to look up to her and everything because everybody, when it was older than you, it was Miss, and you said Yassam and Gnome and all that kind of. And Randall laughs right now because he said we said Gnome. No, ma'am.
Yeah, y'all put it together.
No.
No.
'Cause you got me falling in love. 'Cause you got me falling in love.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. We're here today with Miss Catherine Wright, affectionately known to everyone as Aunt Honey. She has had 103 years of life. Alongside her husband Sammy Lee, she has spent her life rooted in the community. In this video, Aunt Honey shows us how she shared the life growing up as Maddie Knapp in the segregated South and how Matagorda County has evolved and the powerful wisdom she has for the younger generation today. Honey, thank you so much for sitting with me today.
Mm-hmm.
To start us off, everybody in the family knows you as that sweet name. How did you get the nickname Aunt Honey, and how far back does it go?
Daddy. My daddy.
Your dad? And
he was, mother said he would be calling her Honey. And when he said Honey, I would answer too. So they called me Little Honey and Big Honey. I had to get in there.
Did you state your full birth name, your married name, and your exact date of birth?
My full what?
Your full birth name, like on your birth certificate.
On my birth certificate? Well, it's a little funny something about that birth certificate because my Aunt Sally was a midwife. She delivered me. She wanted to name me Maida Catherine Knapp. My grandpa just wanted me to be named Catherine Knapp. Okay, when she goes and records it in Belleville, that's where it was. I go up there 64 years old thinking my name is Catherine. They got up there and guess what it said? Maida Knapp. So I had to have it all changed.
And how did you find out about that? Like
I was fixing to retire from the hospital, and I was going up there to get my, I don't know if it was a birth certificate or whatever, but anyway, I went up there to Belleville where I had gone to school in Wallace. That's where everything was. The census, when they took the census. She had my name as Maida Knapp. No Catherine, whatever. I'm 64 years old. My Social Security and everything. I'm walking around thinking my name is Catherine, and she got it made it. So then I had to go through the statistics in order to get it changed over back to Catherine.
Okay.
You understand what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
ma'am, but I'm trying to figure out here.
And I felt like I should go out there and dig her up and whoop her. Because she told me the children were calling me Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, she said, when you started going to school and everything, if you'd have told the children, you told them your name was made, they don't have call you made it. Well, that was my name, but I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Because
So
I'm
how
thinking my
did
name
you?
is Catherine.
I'm just trying to figure out how
But
did they even? Who came? You said who came up with the name Catherine?
my grandfather,
Your
my
grandfather.
daddy's daddy,
Okay.
wanted me to be named Catherine.
Okay.
And Sally wanted me to be, she liked the maidens and them leaves and stuff. So she
Okay.
said, name her Maid Catherine. And he said, no, I want her just to be named Catherine. So when she went up there and recorded and everything, she just put Maid.
Oh, she did what she wanted to
She
do.
did, that's right. That's when I said I should have whooped her. I had to dig her up to whoop her.
Okay, now can you tell us your married name?
My married name?
Yes, ma'am.
Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I've been married 3 times, you know.
Oh, wow. You can give us all 3 of those names.
Well, my first husband's name was Lawrence Cockrell, so that was Catherine Cockrell.
Okay, and how long was that marriage?
I married him in 1947 and we separated in 1959.
Okay.
Then I married Earl Woods, but that didn't last no time. Married him in 1960, and he went to prison. And I got a divorce from him while he was in prison.
Just
And
couldn't stand beside him in jail?
huh?
Did he do something, or you
Yeah,
just was like, you was like, I just can't do the jail?
he did something. Couldn't keep his hands off of stuff. He's stealing, going in houses and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, you have to get rid of it.
So then I married Samuel, and I went to school with Samuel Lee when we were little kids. So he went to the army. He got married while he was in the army. Then when he came out of the army in 45, I still wasn't married. So I married in 47. He was living in Dallas. Okay, all that time, then later on, that got married to both of his husbands while he was in Dallas, in the army and stuff. So he came back to Bay City in 1963. And we got married in 1974. But we stayed together from 63 until then. We had Kathy was born in 1966. Then we stayed together, and he died in February 25th, 2016. So that was my last husband. I don't want now nothing.
You got a question?
I was going to ask you, before the war started, I believe that was in the 1940s, how was Bay City moving around? Was there a lot of movement here before then?
Well, not like it is now, because everything has increased. So it was mostly rice farmers.
Rice farmers.
And stuff like that. But it wasn't. Well, now it's really picking up now because everything wants to come to Bay City, all kinds of chemical plants and all that kind of stuff, and everything. Because we didn't have anything like Celanese and STP during that time. But and then they had a farm out there where it was Celanese. It was called the Tool Farm, and that's where they farmed the cotton and stuff. Oh, man, Vic Latoul and everything. A lot of families lived out there. No, we didn't live out there. We lived here in town. I guess if Dad had been living here in Bay City, we might have been out there.
So what did y'all do for entertainment before then?
Well, the children up on Avenue C, Miss Piana had a little place for the teenagers. We go there, especially on Sunday evening. Oh boy, we would jack it down.
Y'all be cutting up in there?
Yeah. So then later on, Mr. Fletcher Morgan had some houses on this street close to Avenue C. He built a place on the corner. And that was the teenage joint then. We'd go up there.
Fletcher Morgan.
Fletcher Morgan.
Okay.
Then, because we lived, let's see, the third house from the corner, behind the building. And boy, when somebody would drop a nickel in the Victor, we'd hear it, man, here go me and Tessie B. And we look around, Moses looking in the window. But every time somebody dropped a nickel in that Victor, baby, we out that door some kind of way we went. But we know some boys is going to be in there. We go in there and hack it down, Moses looking in the window at us.
Cutting up.
Make us come out of there.
Yeah.
That didn't stop us from going in there, though. Kids had a good time during that time.
Yeah.
They weren't thinking about all the drugs and stuff like that. They had drugs were going on. But if you knew somebody was using drugs, most of the time you didn't even want to be around them people because you were scared you'd go into jail if you got caught with them and everything. So you didn't want to be with them. But now, it look like to me everybody caters to the drugs. I don't know what's wrong. The drugs were in Bay City. But it didn't get as bad to me, I don't think, until the... It
was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Had to be.
Okay.
I hadn't heard anything about crack cocaine until during that time.
And that's when the switch happened.
And boy, they went crazy, some of them. But I said, if you see what it's doing to somebody else, why do you think you can handle it? Because you can't. Because you get addicted to that stuff and you got to have it, and people kill for that stuff if they want it bad enough.
So my next question I have for you, what were your parents' name and your grandparents' name? Do you remember anything about them growing up?
My grandfather, on my daddy's side, I knew him, but I didn't know the grandmother. The grandmother had died. I knew the step-grandmother. My mother's mother, I didn't get a chance to see because she died when, daddy's mother died when he was little. Mama's mother died when she was little. I didn't get a chance to meet her, but I did meet her grandmother in Hempstead. Her name was Laura Smalley. I saw her, that's the one time, that was in 1933. I never saw her again after that.
And that was your dad's?
That was my mother's grandmother.
Okay. And do you remember looking like her? How did she look?
All I know, I think she was a stout lady, very dark. And that's just about it. Just as you get into Hempstead, across the railroad track and everything, you see a house is sitting right down there somewhere close by the railroad and all. But I never did see her anymore after that. I think Parthenia saw her again, but I know I didn't. But mother came from Bay City to Wallace. I was living in Wallace at the time with Aunt Sally. Picked us up and took us to Hempstead to see her and brought us back, and that was the last time I saw her. First and last time.
And y'all didn't have any contact or anything? It was just that one interaction?
Mm-mm. Now my mother's daddy, he was around us quite a bit. His name was Robert Burdett. And my daddy's dad, I had lived with him for a while. When mother and daddy separated, that's the way I was. I was down there with him, with my daddy's daddy. And then after that, when I came back to Bay City, well, all right, I was grown up then, and my grandfather had come to Bay City. He was living here. And that's how we got a close connection with him. And all that. And he died here.
And when your grandfather came to Bay City, what made him come down here? Was it a...
I don't know if it was work or what it was. I don't know, because Papa was in and out. When he'd go to Odessa and pick cotton and come back, and he just, whatever struck his mind what he wanted to do, that's what he would do.
And that was considered like a job back then? He wasn't being forced to do it?
No, he wasn't being forced to do it, but he was just going to build his house, and he was trying to help mother raise the money to build that house over there on Moe Avenue. And he'd go and pick cotton and help mama. And the little money that I was making, she would take some of that too. I'm helping as much as I can. I think at that time I was making $12 a week. I was working with Dr. Dad. That was in 55 and around. So
Back then, how? Sorry to interrupt you. Back then, how much would that be? Like as far as like $12 a week, would you consider that a decent pay back then?
I was working at cleaning up the doctor's office when I was making the $12. Then I was I had two jobs. I was working with another lady making $20, so that's making me make $22.50 a week. And boy, I managed y'all for that. I bought furniture and first one thing another, down, layaway and everything, but I would pay it out. You know what? I bought a coat. Newman Brothers was down there on 6th Street. Had a coat in the one for $12.98. You could put 50 cents down on it. I put 50 cents down on that coat, and I paid every Saturday 50 cents until I got that coat out, making $2 a week. But I did it.
So you knew what it was like to sacrifice and to work for everything that you had.
I'm telling you.
Where did the Knapps live before they settled in Texas? Do you know what originally brought your family to Bay City?
I don't know where those Knapps came from. I wondered a lot of times. But mother came to Bay City. That's why we're here. Her sister was already here. And I don't know what brought her here. But she was already here in Bay City. And when mother left her husband, she came and stayed with her. Then when we came, we all stayed on that little house over there on Avenue B and Matthew. You were just a block from Avenue C. We all stayed there. I don't know if anybody's living in that house now or not, but it's a lot of people who lived in that house. But that's where my aunt and my uncle Buster Ellison were living at that time. That was my aunt's husband. His name wasn't Buster, we called him Buster. His name was George Willie Ellison.
I was doing some research and they said our families was connected. Do you know any of our family last names, or are you familiar with my grandparents or growing up? Do you remember them?
Who's that?
Florida Ray Smith and Anthony Smith Sr.
That's on my husband's side.
Okay. Do you recall like any of them growing up? How was that side of the family? Do you know them like that?
Well, my son had a daughter and a son by one of the girls, the Williams girl. Her name was Monica Williams. Nikki, you know Nikki. That's Daryl's daughter. Okay. Well, I raised her. And everything. And cause at that time the pig was strung out, and she just didn't have time for her. And I felt sorry for her. And I was working at the hospital 11 to 7, and on my days off, I would try to get her and keep her, and then I would hate to take her back to her mama. And she made me feel so bad one Sunday night, though. She wanted to go where her mama was, and I took her over there, but her mama wasn't there. Brought her back. She's wanting to go back. I took her back again. I felt so sorry for her, but her mama just wasn't there. And she tells me a lot of times, Mama, if it wasn't for you, I don't know where I would be. But I'm glad I was available for her. It was tough on me and everything, but I just felt sorry for her. And I don't know, do you know Lenora? Okay, that's Sammy's stepchildren from up yonder in Dallas and everything. I felt sorry for Lenora because I knew her mother wasn't going to treat her right, and if she wasn't letting her go to school, I went and got Lenora and brought her here. And because the mother was abusive and everything, so Sammy said I should have left her there, but he said she wasn't going to kill her and all like that. But I went and got her so she could go to school. I said, well, if I can get her through high school, one of these days if she make up her mind to go to college, at least she will have a high school education.
Before we get into the deeper history book stuff, I want to take a quick fun break. We're going to get into a game. All right, it's a language and life game. We're just going to see if you know what some of the slang from today means.
Oh, Lord.
So for our first up, we got the slang round. Do you have any idea what the generation means today when they say no cap?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a guess of what you would think no cap would mean?
No cap.
Like no cap.
I have no idea.
No cap in a sentence.
So no cap in a sentence would be, I'm ready to eat, man. No cap.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay, so the next word is bussin'.
What?
Bussin'. Like,
Bussin'.
like, oh, this bussin'. Like if
This food here today
it's
is
bussin'.
bussin'.
You mean the food is delicious?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. What slang word did you and your friends have back in the 1930s? If somebody looked sharp or cool, what would you say to them? If they was dressed nice or if they just had on a good fit?
It was just like if somebody knew something real good, we thought they was smart. Boy, he's hip to the jive.
Okay. Hip to the job.
Yeah.
All right.
The next one is the price round. I want to see how much things have changed. How much did a loaf of bread cost back in the day?
Do you know, it wasn't much, but I can't remember how much it was. Bread wasn't high and milk wasn't high, but I can't remember how much it was, but it sure wasn't much.
Do you recall about like a movie ticket or anything? If y'all would go to the movies, how much would that be?
One dime.
One dime
One
to see a
dime.
movie? If you wanted to get snacks and see the movie, how much do you think you would spend if you had to go with your friends and you want to get something?
If you go to the movie, you want to buy a snack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at that time, just like if you wanted to buy a Baby Ruth, you could buy a penny Baby Ruth, and you could buy a nickel Baby Ruth.
Oh.
And you could get 5 little Baby Ruth by, I guess, about the size of my little finger for a nickel
That don't seem too bad.
and everything. But now, Lord, how much? Oh, now.
How much you think a Baby Ruth is today?
Man, I don't know, but I know one thing: it sure ain't no nickel no more, and no dime either.
It is incredible to think about how much our hometown has evolved since you were a little girl. I want to take a trip down memory lane and talk about Bay City. What did your childhood home look like, and what part of Bay City did you grow up in?
Grew up in the South End part of Bay City. We've always been in the South End, but in the home, Lord, we lived in the shack until we built the other home. But we rented, because we rented a little house right down here on the corner of right on this street here. I can't remember how much mother was paying a week. And do you know how much I paid the last time I paid rent? That was in for 74. I was paying this man $45 a month for what? Let's say had a living room, kitchen, bathroom, and 2 bedrooms.
You know if they still got some available?
$45. You know who
$45.
it was? Leroy Ellis.
Yeah.
That house that they had where he had his shop. I asked him how much would he rent that house, and he said $45 a month, and that's what we paid until we moved over there in '71 and stayed until '74.
No, was that a blessing back then, or was that?
It was a blessing.
Okay.
Child, but now you can't get nothing under $1,000. I'm gonna have to build me a tent because I can't rent no apartment.
Yeah.
Alrighty. For my next one, I got growing up in the Great Depression in the 1920s and 1930s. It took a lot of resilience. What did your family do for work, and how did your family stretch resources to put food on the table?
At that time, to the 20s and the 30s, my daddy was a sharecropper, and he was a great hunter. We always had meat if we didn't have anything else. And everything, because honey, we ate some of everything. I think we might have eaten a piece of skunk. I don't know.
But it was cooked up good, huh?
Yeah, we didn't eat no skunk, but I know he catch kill rabbits, squirrels, and birds and stuff like that. The ducks, yeah.
How was that duck meat?
It was all right. It was dark meat. It wasn't light like the domestic ducks and everything. It was dark, but it was good. We thought it was.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have anything else anyway.
Thinking about how my papa be doing us like that growing up. He wouldn't tell us what we was eating, just bringing stuff to the house. What were your earliest memories of downtown Bay City? You've seen the town square change over 10 decades. What did it look like when you were a teenager compared to today?
Well, at that time, the stores weren't like they were now and everything, because they had really built it up and everything. And around the corner where IBC Bank, there was a grocery store called R.C. Milliken. he would let black people have stuff on credit. And a lot of times, if he found out that you were buying groceries someplace else, because a lot of times QP was there, and their groceries were cheaper than Millikins. If the people were going to buy groceries, and he found out, Charlie, he'd find them, take him an accent on. Him and this man called Buddy Bell Bottom, he's a black man, drove for him, hunting people down there sometime and beat them up. Because they was buying somewhere else. And seeing my husband, he had an account there, and I would go down. So I hadn't been in there for a while because I had been buying somewhere. And Mr. Buddy Bell Bottom called me cornbread. Mr. Milliken told me one time, cornbread, you haven't been in for a while and everything. I told him, I said, no, I haven't. And are you buying someplace else? I said, no, I'm not. I said, but I said, other things have happened. I said, I couldn't buy any place. So that was that. But Mr. Buddy helped him find them folks, and he beat them up with them accents. But I tell you what, there was a man named Cy Brown. I don't know what he and Mr. Milliken had it about, but Mr. Milliken would go out and go jump on him. Mr. Cy Brown cut him down, baby. Had them parked his horse, I think, close to his store. Mr. Milliken went out there messing with him, and I don't know, but Mr. Cy cut him. He sure did. He waked him over there, and I said, that's one nigga that... Mr. Milliken, I guess he said he learned this lesson. And then I was talking about, I don't know whose baby we had in the store, little baby. I wish I had one where I could raise them my own way. Him and his wife couldn't have any children. But why would he want a black one? No. I'm raising my own way. I never wish I was white. Just let me stay on black. I'm all right.
Where did you go to school around here, and what did your friends do for fun on the weekends before technology existed?
Child, we went to school, and when Friday came, that was it. Up to Miss Piners we would go. Free for the weekend. Jitterbug and up in Blue Street.
And how did y'all get around back then?
We walked.
Y'all just walked everywhere.
We didn't have no other way to go. And people pass by you in a car, heck, they ain't gonna get you no ride.
Do you remember the first time you saw a car?
I guess the first time I saw a car, I guess it must have been in Wallace when I was a child. My daddy was driving an old T-model. Lord, you had to get out and crank it.
Like what a crank was?
In the front of the car. He get out, and you feed the gas and everything on the steering wheel. It come out the spark, and so you push the little thing up a little piece, and then he get out and crank it up and start up, and you run that right quick, and push the thing up a little way and get more gas and everything. I never did really understand that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I might have to look that up.
But I mean, he get out there on that cranking, boy, he'd be going on there when it catch. They'd hurry up and get around there to try to put that gas.
Did he ever, would y'all stop and he have to crank it again, or how long does that last?
That's like when you're in the lead house. Crank it up to start and go ahead on about our business.
Do you remember the first time you saw a television?
No. I don't. But I know, I'm trying to think where did I see one. I don't know if we had bought one or what, but it was black and white during that time. You know, it wouldn't have no color. You had to get up and go turn it on and turn it off. Now you got your remote. You can sit down and do whatever you want to do.
You remember your first color television?
When you think about some of the things that went on, it's funny. It's not funny, and it is funny too.
You can laugh back at it.
So yeah, But I never forget one time I went to town on Saturday morning. I don't know if I was going to, you know where Matagorda Pharmacy used to be right there on the corner as you going to Green Brothers. That was the Matagorda Pharmacy. Then the Federal State Theater was next. And that's where we go. But I had stepped up on the sidewalk from 6th Street going toward the theater. And these two men had this other man in between them, and he was drunk and meeting me. And this one in the middle that was drunk hauled off and hit me in my head. And and they didn't try to stop him on that. He just hauled off and pow, right in the head. It wasn't a damn thing I could do about it.
And your parents wasn't around?
No, because I was going to town to go to the show. And because children always went to the show on Saturdays, most of the time and everything. And but I was working at the hospital, and I was telling this lady about it. She was a nurse. I said, well, but let them try it now.
And this was before or after integration?
This was before integration, baby. Yeah.
Integration. Okay.
What do you
Way before integration.
Okay. You remember anything about that?
Huh?
About integration? Like, do you remember how that process went along, or anything that you could tell us about that time era?
Well, I know when it first started, my niece. Well, it was a mess when it first started.
You was out of school already by then.
I'm grown. I got my children and everything. But anyway, when it went up there, these black children were going prepared to fight because the white children wasn't gonna act right. And my niece was sitting in front of a girl, and the girl pulled her hair, and my niece jumped up and slapped the way out of her. The girl, guess what the girl said? What did you do that for? She said, you didn't have it. So my sister had to go to school. My boy slapped the white girl down on the bus. I was staying over on Moore Avenue to let them off over there at Atlanta Roberts. I don't know what had happened, but whatever. I don't know if she threw some of his stuff down on the floor or what it was, but he drew it back like he was gonna hit her. What you do that for? And she called him a black nigger, and he knocked her flat down. So I didn't know anything about it until the next morning. And then Mr. White come. I was mad at Mr. White because he catered to the white people. Called me and told me, did you know you had to come to school with Daryl? I said, no, I didn't. I said, I don't have a ride because high school's out here then. And I said, but I'll be there. And I said, I'll tell you one thing. I said, if they expel Daryl from school, they better expel her. I said, because she didn't have no business calling him a black ass nigga. So then when I went to the school, Mr. Ollendorf was the principal at that time. But Mr. White wouldn't talk to me. He let me talk to Mr. Ollendorf because I was going to eat him up yum yum. Yeah. But anyway, Mr. Ollendorf wanted to know from me, did I think it was fair for a man to hit a woman? And I told him, no, I don't think it's right for a man to hit a woman. I said, but sometimes we can provoke them into hitting us. Just like that. And so the mama and the daddy went to see the superintendent or something. They didn't come to the school then, but they had to come over there. So then Mr. Ollendorf had me to stay out until he talked to them. Then he called me in. So when I went in, they were talking about it and everything, but he thought it was going to be a riot, baby. And he wanted to know from me, did I think it was over? I said, so far as I'm concerned, it's over. And he wanted to know from these people's name was Green that lived in in Wadsworth. What do you think about it? Well, the girl. Well, I don't know what my brothers are going to do. And I said, what do you mean your brothers? Just like that. And so the mama turned around and told your brothers better not do nothing. So he told me if he heard of anything, if something was going on with when they fixing them chickens and all that kind of stuff, what kind of meat you call that? 4-H something up. But that was raising chickens. But anyway, they were supposed to have something when I went to school that day, they were supposed to be having something at night. I don't know what went on, but they said when they weren't prepared if anything happened, what they was gonna do. But nothing happened. Everything went all smooth. Okay. So I was thinking, he was saying something about him riding the bus. Well, Dad was riding with Frank Hawkins at that time. And I was thinking Darryl couldn't ride the bus When I find out the girl was riding the bus, then I'm calling. I want to know why I can't down ride the bus if the girl is riding. And he said, no, it's not like he can ride the bus. But we said, if anything happened, what would happen to them if they anybody mess with each other or something like that. But he went on back and got on that bus. And that was just finishing year. I said, Lord, I'd be glad when you get out of here.
Would you say it was better before segregation or after? What's your opinion?
I think I said it had its good advantages and its bad advantages.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
What was the good?
Well, the good, you could go in the place you wanted to go, and everything. At that before that time, where you couldn't go and sit up in white restaurants and stuff like that.
So y'all did enjoy the.
And I never did want to go anyway for that in the first place.
Okay.
But I was thinking about the other people that was going. But they had a whole bunch of mess going on in Houston. The Woodward, when they wanted to go to the counter to sit down and eat, they don't want to serve them and all that kind of stuff. But it got to the place where people could go and eat where they want to eat. And still in some, it's not over. It's not over. Because it's some people that just,
you can feel it.
They just can't adjust to it. Then they don't want to see it. Just like your president. he wants everything to be his way. And this black preacher that preaches at Lily Grove Baptist Church in Houston, he gets up and he calls him a fool. When things don't go his way, he just like a child having a tantrum. He fire people and do all that because it's not going his way. Everything can't go your way. No, I don't care where it is. And then he get up and do things on his own. I said, when you're the president, you're supposed to talk to your people and get together and find out what they want to do. We all agree on the same thing. He do what he want to do, then tell him. Then tell him about it.
So living in the 30s and the 40s, what was it like for black families here? Like, how did y'all help each other out? How was the community?
Well, there's one thing about it. That people were raising hogs and stuff. And when they did, I don't care who it was, they sent everybody for some of that hog meat.
You didn't even have to ask. They'll just bring it by the house.
Take this to Sister So-and-so, so take this to Sister So-and-so. But they cut that out. And then people got to the place that they didn't want to, well, the younger people come along, they wasn't going to raise no hogs no how. For that part concerned, because you got to pack lot and buy food and everything like that for them and all. But they seemed like they were more neighborly. And they had feeling for people more than they have now. Some people don't care what happened to some other people and everything. And I guess I'm one of them crazy people. If I see somebody out there hungry, if you want a piece of bread, I'm gonna give it to him.
And they don't even have to be related to you. Back then, y'all would just do stuff for
just do stuff.
Just because.
I remember when the hobos were riding the trains. We were living right on the other side of the track, over across from Mother's Line. This man came to my mama and told her he was hungry, and she fixed him a sandwich. My mother, we wasn't having nothing doing. She got in the kitchen and fried him some eggs and stuff and gave it to him. Somebody wanted to know from her, why do you feed them people? She said, because I have children. And she said, they may be somewhere, sometime, someplace, and may need a slice, and maybe somebody will give them a slice of bread. Yes. And the child, and you don't know how many people I have fed. Lord, right here at this house. Come and tell me they're hungry, lying sometime, but I do it anyway. I said, oh well, Sam Beverly, you know Tyrone Beverly. Yeah, he's one of them. Yeah, he come here every evening. Oh, so and so owed me some money that was supposed to pay me and everything. Ain't can you do such and such? I'd fix it. When he started coming every evening, I said, nah, I can't fix it. So my husband said he got a sister down there running the place, Francis D. He said, how come he don't go down there? I said, because she going to make a motor yard, that's why. He ain't got the motor yard down here. So I fixed it until one night he came here and he went in the bathroom and I was fixing him something to eat. And it took him so long, he going to have to wash his hands. But it stayed so long, I wondered what was going on. And I went in there and I had a sponge. I hadn't used it. When I went in there, soap suds and stuff, all of that, I guess he done bathed in the sink.
Yeah.
So Sammy said he can't come here no more. So then he came back again. I told him, I said, Tyrone, I can't do it no more. I said, my husband said no. I said, I'm not the only one that's running this house. I said, I have to do what my husband said do. He got mad and stopped speaking to me, but that was all right. I had done what I could. Yeah.
And where did you get that from? Like, where did you get those attributes from? Just wanting to help out people?
My mother would help anybody.
Mhm.
And my daddy would too. And everything. So if you get him a drink of whiskey, Lord have mercy. That man.
He was a whiskey drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, he didn't take but a thimbleful. He drunk. Go to town, people take the money off of him. And now we are back there in the country, ain't got no meal in the barrel. He don't let the folks get the money. But that's all right. He was my daddy.
What were the specific businesses, neighborhoods, and historic places like Mother Zion that served as a safe space for the Black people in the community? Were there any specific churches or organizations that you can remember that if we needed to call on them or if we needed help, they
Well,
would help us out?
the church used to help people if they need a light bill paid or something like that, and they couldn't afford it. A lot of times they would get together and help them pay it.
And that would be the church or the people in the church? Like, would it be
People contributing to the church
okay?
and going through the church that way. Our church, I belong to the Methodist. My church has helped people that needed help.
You said what church was that?
Methodist Church at Barnes.
Okay. And how long have you been a member of that church?
It was in 1939.
Wow.
1939.
And it's been the same building for years, or y'all got
Man,
a new building?
I wish I don't know where it is, but I wish I could show you the churches what it looked like when I first started going there.
It wasn't no bricks on it.
No, Lord, and that wood looked like I don't know what. It needed tearing down and building it, but I think it was two churches. I don't know what I had it not too long ago too. I said I'm gonna keep that, so I have to show, and then it showed the brick church and everything, because the brick church was built under Reverend Turner, Reverend Valentine. Reverend Turner, you don't remember him?
He was a black man.
He really looked more like a Mexican man.
Okay, was he related to Turner?
His name really wasn't Turner. He was really I can't think of his first name. It was Guzman. Guzman. But I don't know if he took the name of his stepdad or who it was. I don't know who was the son, but he came up Reverend Turner, but his real name was Guzman.
But I knew some Turners back then. Venom Turner. Don't get me
I don't know where Reverend Turner came from. Because they used to have conferences, and every so often they moved the pastors, change them around and everything. But I said, just like Reverend Miles, if they were going to move Reverend Miles, I don't think they'll move Reverend Miles until that church is rebuilt, because it was burned down under him.
Okay.
They wanted to build it back. Now, that's my thoughts. I don't know.
So, as a young woman in your late teens and 20s during the World War II era, what was time like?
During the time of the war, most of the time I was in Houston, because I had a job working at the country club in Houston. Then I had another job working at the M&M Cleaners. That was my last job when I worked there. I didn't have to do any cleaning or any pressing or anything. All I had to do was sort the clothes when they come in. And when they come back in, the man, he would go get the clothes. He would take them to a place called Rossonian Cleaners. They would clean them and bring them back, and this man would press them. And then I would have to see to it they were bagged and in the right names and stuff like that. And guess what? This man's name was Arthur Proso. He had been to the pen for marijuana. And I don't know who checked his clothes, if I was off or what, but they went through the cleaning and came back. And I was going through the pockets after they'd been and found 2 cigarettes. I got him out of there. He burned the joint right down. That's when this song come out, I'm tipping in. And I went down there and I told him, I said, Protho. I said, I don't know who went through your clothes. I said, but because he had been to the pen for that mess. I said, but they found these in your pocket. Lord, that man thanked me. I tell you the truth and everything, because he would have gone back to the pen. But I told him, I said, you need to be more careful. And just like I said, people talk about drugs and stuff. When I was in Houston, I was invited out on drug things. I lied and told the man I couldn't come because I had a husband.
I know you did. Yeah.
We're going to have such and such a thing tomorrow night, and you can come. I said, well, okay, I'll see if I can. He came the next day to the cleaners. You coming? I said, no. I said, my husband. And I ain't had now husband.
But you wasn't going to that?
I wasn't going into that.
Yeah.
I told him I had the chance to use drugs, but I said no. And the man wanted me to write policy. And they go down on Dowling at that time. He got a great big mirror sitting out there on the floor. I'm supposed to be sitting back there, and if see the policeman coming, all I got to do is stand up and act like I want to play policy. I ain't the one that's right. No, we get you out of jail. I said, no, you ain't, because I ain't going.
Now this new generation ain't scared to go to jail. What's wrong with
Well, I was scared to go to jail. I said, because Mama wasn't going to pick up that inform and read and see that way Catherine Knapp writing policy. No, Lordy. I said, some of the stuff I could walk around, I know. You don't need to get into stuff unnecessarily. You don't have to.
Being raised in Texas, with Juneteenth having deep roots, how did your family and neighbors celebrate Juneteenth?
Oh, boy. We had a ball.
But it was a house party?
No. You know what here it is? Mm-hmm. They had a place out there. They had to put up a thing for you to dance. And some of these people be working for the people got cars and stuff. They would donate a calf or something up there. They barbecue. Had a parade. I never forget the parade in 1937. Oh, Lord.
And it was down Avenue, like by the Hilliard?
7th Street uptown.
Okay.
I mean, it was something else. Yeah. Had this tall man named Charlie Mitchell. He was dressed as Uncle Sam. Charlie Mitchell was the name. That band come through there. I mean, they had band, I don't know where all the bands come from, but it was something else. Looked like you just made the house stand on my head.
Yeah. And it was nothing like today. Nothing like
the child, they don't know nothing about no Juneteenth. But they talk about to get that watermelon and that red soda water and that barbecue and everything. I don't think my nephew even barbecued this year. He usually barbecue every year, but he didn't. But baby, when we stayed in Wallace, me and my brother walked the 6 miles to the across the Bernard River, and they had a place back off in there in the pasture, and baby, they had it going on. I mean, people look like from everywhere was back there. Music and everything. Had a good time, I tell you. But I said these children don't understand what it's all about now. Yeah, we celebrate because we're so glad to be free and everything. They don't know anything about that. And shoes. And just like my grandfather, he wasn't a slave, but he was born into during that time, some of that time anyhow.
So you experienced that growing up. Mm-hmm. What was that like? Tell us a little bit about
just
that time period of you witnessing, I guess you could say, slavery and what was going on.
One thing about slavery, from what I could understand in my time, these people, they put them in them huts and stuff. That was so cruel, I'm telling you the truth. These women would have these babies, and after they grow up, these call a man over everything. But he would, huh?
The slave owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
When them girls get up such age and everything, whatever he liked, he'd have them come in the house and have babies by him. That's the reason why we so many different colors.
Okay, yeah.
And everything. Because we supposed to, if we Africans, we supposed to be black, ain't we? Skip Wilson said we got a beautiful garden, all kinds of colors. Yeah. Telling you, whenever you lived on when you lived on the slave master's place, that's when so many people come up with a different name because it's named after the slave master. My brother they had a nap Chevrolet thing in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
My brother went in and said his name was Morris Knapp, and that man disputed him down that he wasn't no Knapp because he was a Knapp.
He was a Knapp.
That's right, but he didn't want Bubba to be no Knapp.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can hear Bubba right now. That's what they say I was. And that's the only thing he knew because that's what it was.
That's
Knapp.
what he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling what we'd be named. Some kind of crazy name if we were African.
Mm-hmm.
I read some stories. I'm telling you, oh.
When you look at like how the world has changed regarding race and equality
Mm-hmm.
from back then and from today, what do you think has changed and
It's
how
just,
does it?
I don't really change a lot. But you know what? I don't mean to change the conversation or nothing. But it's just like I say about when God sent that flood.
Mm-hmm.
The people were so wicked and evil
Mm-hmm.
till He washed out everything. I said, to me, it seemed like it's gonna be have to do the same thing, but it said no more water, but fire next time,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. I said, well, they're doing some of everything.
Mhm.
So I just don't know. I don't want to be burnt.
Don't tell him to do it when
Yeah,
you leave.
but I said, but if I get burnt, I just got burnt with the rest of them. I tell you, but they just doing so much, and you can't tell these children that your eye is black, but they don't want to shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They just don't. Ain't gonna take nothing.
Don't take nothing.
And where do they get the guns from? They come up with them somewhere. Where,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, they can get a gun quicker than we can.
And back then, y'all didn't really have that as a problem. It wasn't like it wasn't black against black.
No,
back then. It was more so y'all fighting against the other cultures.
No, but now we kill each other
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
at the drop of a hat. I'm telling you.
Do you remember anything about that era during the Martin Luther King movement and things like that?
I remember you reading about it and seeing it on television and all like that. That was really cruel the way they were doing those people. I'm telling you the truth. Sicking the dogs on them, spraying them with the water hoses and all that kind of stuff.
Have you seen any of that firsthand? Have you seen any experience that or seen that firsthand before?
It wasn't that bad down here.
No, it wasn't that bad.
But you would hear stories of
yeah.
Okay.
And to lynch people wasn't nothing.
Ooh.
Hang them.
And that was in this area?
I've never heard of anybody being hung this, but I've read what different places like Alabama and all up in there. Like that Emmett Till, you read about him. Said he didn't even whistle at the woman. And said she admitted it later on that he didn't do it. And he died a horrible death. I'm telling you the truth. But at that time, the white woman had to go. All she had to do, the black man turned the corner and said, hey, he may not even be talking to her. He whistled at me. He did such and such. And they're going to take her word for it. And it ain't going to be one, it's going to be a whole bunch of them coming. How come it takes so many of them to come to kill one man? A whole mob. I say, need to be Superman. Whoop all of them.
What is the big difference that you notice between our generation and your generation?
It seems like to me the younger generation is, everyone who seems like to me is worse than the other one.
Each generation just getting worse and worse.
Worse, it seems like to me that's the way it is. Because things that they do now, we just didn't do stuff like that. And most of us had feelings for other people and everything. People don't care now. I guess that's the reason why, they wasn't allowed to pray and all that kind of stuff. That's where they used to build the churches all back in the woods. I believe that's the reason why. But because they didn't want them to learn how to read and all of that kind of stuff. But they seem to think that's why they sang the Swing Low Sweet Chariot, coming for to carry me home. They'd get off somewhere and sing these different songs and stuff. Instead of, you wouldn't let the slave master hear them or nothing. They get off somewhere by themselves, pray, and all like that. That boy said, I guess that's why we pray so hard, because Lord, They don't pray too much now. Don't do it no more. Everything's got. Ain't no slavery or nothing. We ain't got to go through it, so we ain't got to pray. Just that we just leave it alone. Everything's working out all right. We ain't going through no hard times or nothing. Nothing that we can't handle and stuff. But it's still out there. What you want. But she tried everything in the world she could to get me some kind of help. Somebody to stay here with me 2 or 3 hours a day and all like that. I told her I don't need nobody to stay here with me 2 or 3 hours. I said, I'm not bedridden or anything like that. I said, if I'm scared I'm gonna fall, I go get in the bed and stay in there. I said, I can stay in there until one of y'all come and everything. I said, everything is right there for me and all. That's all I ask you to do. Have me plenty of water and stuff where I can just reach and get it. I don't have to get up.
Well, growing up, what was your favorite meal your parents would cook for you?
Man, turkey and dressing and mustard green. Yes, sir. And I used to make. My sister said she don't know why Cheryl and them don't be trying to find a recipe for I make dressing and everything. But I said, well, Cheryl makes dressing her way. I said, everybody cooks different. Kathy cooks more like me.
Okay, yeah.
Cause she sat in the kitchen and watched me cook it.
Okay.
Cheryl was too busy.
Yeah.
And everything. But cause Kathy was going to school in Waco.
All right.
She called me one Thanksgiving. She done fix this and she done fix that. I said, how you learn how to do that? She said, watching you.
Yeah.
She done fixed the whole Thanksgiving dinner. That broccoli rice casserole. Had them fix us some dressings and some sweet potatoes. She done fixed some of everything. But
Come on, kid.
and Cheryl could cook, but she made it like she couldn't.
Yeah, that's the only one I know that.
Cause she didn't want to cook. That
Have
heifer moved out there on Horn Road and invited me to come to dinner and had some of the best pinto beef.
She can cook good.
Yeah, she can cook. And then she went to culinary school. But I still like Kathy's cooking better than I do Cheryl because Kathy seasons. Yes, sir. Took your grandma to Sergeant last Monday.
Yeah, what y'all do? Oh, to the beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Went down, took the chairs out, took pictures, got back in the truck and come on back to Bay City.
Yeah, y'all had a time.
We I said we just went down and took the pictures. Took the chairs out the truck. Lined them up, we took pictures, got back in the truck, and come on back to Bay City.
That was something. It was a nice.
But it was a nice getaway. I really enjoyed it.
And it was a nice picture. Everybody.
Oh, you saw it?
Everybody on the hundreds of people seen it. Hundreds of people seen it, and everybody was liking it on the internet.
I haven't even seen one.
Well, let me show.
We was laughing because we having Lonnie in. Because I said Lonnie got to lay down and all to get in the car.
Yes, she do.
with that leg. So she rode in the front with Randall and me and Cynthia and Patine rode in the back.
Yeah,
had a good time. We sitting over there, Lonnie here, Patine there. All three of us in line here. It was good pictures, I said.
Y'all was looking real
I'm
good.
telling you.
With your braids.
Yeah.
I always had some long, pretty hair.
And they need to watch it so bad right now. The issues I tell you too, but I ain't got the energy to watch it. Some of it need cutting. And that's one reason why I ain't trying to roll it, because you got to get them long ends. I'm going to find my calendar and find out. I'm like mama, and I go by that moon on cutting that hair. She wait till that moon get 3 days old, then she clip them ends.
Why the moon? Wait till the moon.
She says in the growing stage.
Okay, I never heard that.
I don't know. And a lot of times they said when they plant food, beans and stuff like that, they plant them on the dark of the moon. I don't know. Okay. But the moon got something to do with it.
They know, yeah.
They
knowing. Definitely.
But I had a garden back there in the back. I was planting, but I didn't know what I was doing. But
because you wouldn't plant them on the dark of the moon.
Well, they came out all right, though.
What's the best piece of advice that they
gave? They didn't give me too much advice, but listen with that switch. Don't do this and don't do that. And everything. My grandmother was washing, my step grandmother. And my aunt Sally lived up the hill a little piece. So she wanted me to go over there and get some blue in. So she put it in the rinse water. Sun was hot. It was about 12 o'clock in the day. I'm going on through the gates slow and everything, she said. Come on back, I'll go. I turned around to come back. She said, "You don't get your ass go." Man, I thought she meant it.
Yeah.
When she said, "Come back," when she said, "Come back," I'll go. I was gonna let her go,
Yeah.
but she let me know she didn't mean. You don't get your ass across that prayer. But I flew up that hill. They were like that then and everything, but don't nobody want to share nothing no more with nobody. Cause it was every time you look around, who's someone want to borrow something. That's the way it is now. At that time, it was fine. You borrow, you don't have to even pay it back. No, we were always close. Yeah,
Okay.
somebody can do something and it's just not right, and that one somebody's mad, and then you tell other somebody about it, and everybody gets mad and go to side with the other somebody that's in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to straighten it out and everything, but they don't. Sometimes they just won't do it.
And families don't talk for years.
That's right. Shoot. And I just can't see that. And I think families ought to be close and everything, and learn how to agree. Don't have to be. You don't have to disagree on everything, but at least agree on things agreeable for everybody. They
Back
need each
then, it
other.
wasn't a lot of that. You wasn't really separating. Y'all had to stick together based off of the
Yeah.
circumstance.
Boy said we fought, but we stayed together.
Yeah.
I tell my children to treat everybody the way you want to be treated and everything. And just like I said, if don't you start, just like a fight. I said, don't you hit the first lick. If somebody hits you, you're entitled to hit them back, but don't you start it and all. And I said, the best thing to do is, if you can, just don't hit at all. Just walk. Sometimes it's just best to walk away. But some people that don't want to be outdone, and they're gonna stay there till the last and everything. Just walk away. Just like I said, somebody got a gun and everything. If they're gonna shoot you and everything, it's better to say Yanni go than say here you lay.
What's the hardest thing you've had to go through in your 102 years of life? Well, your 103 years now.
Losing my mama. That was the hardest thing. I tell you for sure. And then, and the way my daddy died, that was hard, but I got over it. But
And around what age was that? Whenever you
my
lost your
mother,
parents?
when she died,
Yes, ma'am.
she was 102.
She was 102.
Yes, she was. My daddy was gonna be
Wow.
My daddy was gonna be 97 in December that year. They killed him
Oh, wow.
trying to help dopehead, and they took his life. Killed him with his own gun and everything. And that was really something. And he was just as well and hard as he could be. It seemed like we thought he was anyway, because he was mowing his own yard and all that kind of stuff. And he was gonna be 97 that year. But his life was snuffed out before he got a chance. And I don't know if the girl that he was trying to help, I don't know. They said she went to prison. I don't know if she did or not, but she had somebody with her. There was a guy with her when she went to my daddy's house. And my sister had been telling him to stop trying to help that girl because she was on drugs and what he could do about it. He gonna try to help and everything. They went there one night, and I don't know if they thought he had some money or what. And knowing my daddy, if that guy said anything that was kind of out of the way, my daddy raised up, and that was it. And if he had that gun, that guy took it away from him and shot him with it. Because he was in the bed.
Your father.
Mm-hmm. And the lady went there the next day to get him to take him to the place where they would go eat. And she couldn't arouse him, and she having to go to the back door, and the back door was in there, and now he was in that bed.
Everybody watching wants to know, what's the secret for you to live 103 years of life and to keep still being joyous and staying so deeply connected and loved by you?
They want to know why I live so long. I said, by the grace of God, because it ain't no other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
is there anything specific? Like, did you have any routines or anything that you did growing up that you felt like, oh, this is what kept my skin so healthy, or just anything that you do to just live this long?
Just going about and just trying to treat everybody right, and doing what I could to help anybody that I could help, and all, and that was it. And I said, I guess I must have made good favor with God somewhere. He let me stay here this long. I don't know what I did right or what I did wrong, but I'm glad He let me stay here. I'm blessed to be here this long. Because I didn't think I would live. I was knocked on my feet. I didn't think I'd live to be 100 years old.
Why is that?
I
just didn't have the.
I just didn't have no idea that I would live to be 100. Then I got to be 101, then 102, then 103. I tell them to come to the party next year.
Yep, and we'll definitely
be 104.
Definitely be here.
That's what my grandson said. You gonna be here, Granny?
For sure.
You know, the boy said, "Who knows?" Because people have lived longer than that.
It's a blessing to live that long. That's not happening these days. A lot of people, like you say, they get on stuff be happening that can't forgive each other fighting.
And sometimes you can hurry your life away and everything. True.
Can you think of any other stories you got from the past, that something that you remembered your whole life and it was always like, oh, I never forget this story?
You see, there's so much that happened in my life. Done that to Matagorda fishing by myself. Stayed down there till 11 o'clock at night by myself. Here come this truckload of white boys. Pass by, I'm sitting down there with my little lantern and everything on the beach. Way down up in there. They pass by. All they were hollering and going on and everything. And all that one looked like something just told me, girl, get yourself up from here and get in that car and go home, because you don't know what they're going to come back and do. I got my tail up and then got my lantern and some load up, and then I come home. I said, I'll never do that again. But I just wasn't afraid. I don't know why. But to be down there by myself and way down that beach, I said they could have done anything to me. Nobody never would have even found me. But I thank God for that. I had that much sense to get up and move and stuff. But I'll tell you the truth. You can do some foolish things sometimes. And had caught one fish down at 11 o'clock in there and caught one fish. Come on, my husband, he laying here, he sleep, he ain't even bothered.
You just went down there one day. You just wanted to get out the house. And you said, "I'm gonna go down here."
I go fish. I love to fish.
Okay.
And I go fishing all the time. A lot of times by myself, but I go in the daytime. Okay. But this particular time, I went late in the evening, and it was all nice and everything. Quiet. Wasn't a whole lot of people down there on the beach or nothing. And where I was, it was nighttime. Everybody going home, and I'm sitting down there, sitting on this bucket, trying to catch me another fish. Until these people pass by and say, some say, you get up and get out of here, because you don't know what they're lying to come back and do. And you know how them white folks can do sometimes. I be watching television, how they do. You ain't got to do nothing, but they just gonna meddle. Anyhow, what you doing down here or something other like that. And you got just as much the right to be down there as they have, but they don't think you do.
With the different cultures in the schools, whenever they integrated, what do you remember about just like how that shift changed Bay City? Just black people and white people coming together.
Just like I said, it had its good advantages and it's bad. Some of it worked out, just like I said, it's still here. Everybody was not for integration and everything. They didn't like it, but they had to go along with it because it was passed and everything. But I think, to me, it's a little better. It's not altogether gone, but it's better than what it was at first. But just like I said, I don't care what you do. The white folks gonna take the white folks' word before they take yours, regardless. Some of them be fair enough to look through things and see that everything is all right, but some of them gonna just make you. You don't have to do anything, but they say he did it, and people have gone to the pen for that, wrongly accused, but gone and served so much time and everything. And then later on, a lot of times they find out they're innocent after they stayed in jail so long. I think that is so wrong. I said maybe they should have had this thing to come out, this what is it you tell you take now you find out if you're lying or telling the truth?
The lie detector test.
Lie detector test. I said maybe they might could have saved a lot of lives if they had used it and everything, but they said that stuff is so expensive. I don't know. But sometimes they don't want to know the truth.
They don't want to tell the truth.
No,
They don't
you're
want to
right.
put it out there. It causes too much confusion. The last thing I got for you, if you can just look in the camera and just give one piece of advice to the younger generation today, what would it be?
To the young people about it, I just say keep your head on straight and know what you're doing and be persuaded by your own mind, not somebody else's. You got a mind of your own, follow your mind, and always try to choose the right path to go down and everything, because it's not easy out here and everything. But and don't let somebody else persuade you to do something that you don't want to do. You got your own mind, just like I say, you got your own mind. Follow your own mind. That's like I told this boy that I used to keep when he got out of school and everything. I said it's not easy out here. You getting out there in the world. Don't let somebody tell you do this and do that. You got your mind. Use your mind and everything. You know right from wrong and everything. I said follow it, because a lot of times when people tell you things, they tell you wrong things to do, and you're weak enough to do it. Then I told so he did such and such. They laugh at that after you get in there and everything. But I don't know. Some of them you can tell, some of you can't. And I feel so sorry for some of them. I'm telling you, they're just out there, just in a lost world. To be independent and everything, you don't have to depend on nobody. That may seem hard and everything, but I mean it.
Sometimes people just have to learn stuff their way. You can't even teach them the right way. They just got to go through the hard process.
That's right. Mama said I have to let the bull hook them. All I can say is I want to tell Jarrell to keep trying to find some of these people he's looking for. So I don't, just like he said, Cousin Moselle, he said he can't find nothing about her mother. I sure would like to know. I know Lalana would like to know that. But if you don't know, you just don't know. I have never even heard her mama's name called that I can remember.
And this is Leilani's mother?
Lalana's grandmother. Moselle Fawcett, that's what she was going in. Because that was her daddy, Bracer Fawcett. But I never have had any lady, have heard of any lady being connected with her, that it was her mother. And I guess if Aunt Sally had been living, if at that time I had known, maybe I could have asked and found out, but I never heard her say anything about it. Because Bracer Fawcett was Aunt Sally's brother. And when I came along, he was already gone. Because I never did, I met Will Fawcett, Sam Fawcett, Lee Maker Fawcett. And that was it. And Aunt Sally, Aunt Susie, and Daddy's mother was already gone. And now that's on the Fawcett side. On the Knapp side, Dad had some people that lived in Kilton. They were Knapps. Nora King, she married this man named Van Liv King. She had a brother down there by the name of Horace Knapp. That was my dad's uncle. Had another brother down there named was Benny Knapp in Kilton. And I think that was it. It had one named Richmond Knapp. I never did meet him. I don't know where he was. They didn't either. And they all look like white folks.
But that was yellow. They was all like fair color.
Yeah. My grandpa was bright. And Nora was bright. Uncle Lee was bright. Uncle Lee looked just like an old white man. Now in Richmond, I saw a picture of him. He was bright. Uncle Benny was bright. All of them. But their mama was bright. But they said she was on a boat being a nurse for some white doctor or something, and that's who she got these children by. So I don't know how they. I saw her one time in my life. I was a little girl, but I remember her because Mama was talking about with your little poor self. I remember that she pulled her dress, had on the long old dress, pulled her dress and showed Mama hip and told her, I ain't poor. Grandma Knapp,
what was the back then? Where did that sense of disrespect come from? Like the younger generation, I've noticed that you can't tell an older person like man, or you can't be like girl, or
You don't use them terms. I ain't no girl. Let you know. I
That's what
ain't
one of my
no girl.
teachers told me. She said, "No, you can't say that."
No, sorry. And just like sometimes say something, who told your mama I was your sister? All that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you better say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and yes, sir, and no, sir. But they call you to you in a minute. I never forget that time I think that was Columbus Cherry. I was calling him Columbus. Dad called me up to me and told me something about you see somebody, the hair on somebody's teeth or something. So now you call this man Mr. Columbus. I said, yes, sir.
So things haven't changed as far as like black standards, like growing up, how you couldn't go in and out the house and you wasn't listening to grown folks' business.
Baby, you better not, just like we sit up here talking, better not no kid come sitting up in here. You better get somewhere. A lot of them will go up on the, old folks be sitting on the porch talking, they go up under the house. Listen.
It was definitely like that
I
growing
tell
up.
you the truth, them kids was something else.
Would you consider yourself to be a good kid, or did you give your parents a little trouble?
No, I didn't give them no trouble. I was
Okay.
too scared to. I went out one time and when we were staying here on Second Street further down and stayed over my time, and I come, mama whipped my butt because I didn't come back like I was supposed to. She cut my tail, but asked me when I in there later on, earlier.
And you was a teenager at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mama said, "Oh, I think you done got to be such and such age. I guess you smell your piss." No, mama. Yes, you do.
Can you remember one thing that was something you did that you got in trouble for, that was like in your young teen years?
I went up the street and drank some beer and got drunk. And went home. And every time I went by the kitchen door, that washboard was off. That next morning she got up, she said, "Who gonna go get the switch, you or me?" I go get it. Because I know she gonna go out there and get a stick. I went out there, and I wasn't gonna come back with no little bitty switch. I came back with a nice size. She told my tail up. Shit, I think I was about 16 years old.
Do you remember where that came from? Like why would they make us go get the switch, or why?
I don't know. You go get your own switch. You know you ain't
gonna
want to go out there and get no big one. You go out there. You don't want to go out there and get no little bitty one. And you don't want to. You sure don't want to get no great big one.
Get sent back
Lord,
out
how much
to get a better one. Well, that's all I got for you. Did you have anything else you want to? Anything else that you could think of?
I went to school. I went almost through the 10th grade. I didn't finish 10th grade because I was working and everything. And I don't know what in the world I was thinking. Boy, but if I could live it over, I would sure do it. I'd suffer harder and study harder than I did then. But working and trying to go to school and everything, and I'd come home a lot of times and mama would make the kids be quiet where I could study and everything. And it just didn't work out right. Hush, dog. And but I sit back a lot of times and just reminisce what I could have done. But I said, Lord, if I had the chance and could live it over, I said, but I guess you call that experience. I would sure try harder. Tell you. Hey.
What's up? What's up? Well, thank you, Miss Honey, for sitting down with me today and for sharing your story. You are a true treasure of Bay City, Texas, and I'm incredibly proud to share your history today and even a family tree with you. Today, for everybody watching at home, thank you for listening and thank you for having us.
Everybody watching at home. What? God, dog.
Y'all leave a comment to wish Miss Honey a blessed day. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.
I'm like that woman. I wish I'd have known it.
Sometimes we die, we still love. Now that you're here, I truly care. You show me it's real, you show me it's real. I feel love. Whoa, 'cause you got me falling in love. 'Cause you got me falling in love. It's time falling in love. You got me falling